Thanks for tuning in to watch our trades information videos. On each of these videos, we will try to provide the same amount of information. We'll talk about the physical abilities needed to do each job, the type of lifestyle that might be sustainable. Different areas will get different pay, so we're going to try and just focus on, would you be able to have an apartment? Can you have a car loan? You know, those kind of lifestyle kind of things that might be associated with a different paycheck. What certificates or licenses do you need? Do you need an EMT certificate? Do you need a commercial driver's license? Do you need different things? So in each of these videos, we will touch on those different requirements. In all of these videos, every single tradesman has made a point to say that the work ethic that the young person can bring to the career is what will make or break their career and enable their success. So I highly encourage you to watch all of the videos that we have on these topics. See what might fit you best. There is a different career and a different trade for each and every different personality. And if you can find what fits you, it will help you to be successful in life. And that is why we are trying so hard to get all this information out to people just entering the workforce or maybe changing the workforce mid-career. We want you to be successful in life. That's our goal. So enjoy these videos. Make sure to hit subscribe, because as I run across different trades, guys, I will get a different video. And if you subscribe, you will get the notification. Have a great time watching and a great day. So we're going to, this is part of our trade series information that we're getting ready to hand out to the kids, or folks that want to change careers, whatever. So you are a lineman in Colorado Springs.
Out east, Lyman.
Okay,
Lyman,
so you're
Colorado.
out Lyman. Okay, so tell us about being a lineman. What did you have to do to get started?
What I did to get started in this trade was I went to a line school, a program in Minnesota. They have them all over the country, but that's where I grew up, and I went to a college there, and it was a 1-year program where you get a line worker certificate.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. It was a 1-year program. I started in July and got done in May, and then I put my applications out to a whole bunch of states and places, and I got several interviews, and I got hired on at Mountain View and moved out here.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. So did you go to lineman school just right out of high school?
I did.
Okay.
Actually, I started looking at what I wanted to do between my sophomore and junior year in high school, and just kind of looked at several different things, what I enjoyed, which was, I wanted to be outside and like work with my hands. So I actually knew a few linemen that lived in and around my hometown, and my neighbor was one, so I talked to him, and then I kind of thought, well, maybe I'd sort of do an interview with these other 4 guys and talk with them and see what they had to say about the trade, and see if there was something that piqued my interest. And so I did that. I talked with all of them, and it sounded like it was right in my wheelhouse, so I went and did a college visit, and that would have been my junior year, and between my junior and senior year, I knew that I was going to be going into that program, so I was all set. I just did my senior year, and right after my senior year in high school, I went right into that program. So.
Nice. Okay. And so what was, I'm sure the cost has changed because, neither one of us are right out of high school age anymore. But what was the approximate cost of a school like that?
It's going to vary, especially where you take it, what part of the country you're going to be in, but there's so many different types of programs, length of program.
So you could choose a 6-month or a 1-year kind of...
Right. There's 1-year programs, there's 2-year programs.
Oh, okay.
And then there's programs that are, I think, 12 or 15 weeks that are offered here in Colorado. And I didn't go to those schools, and like I said, it's been a little while, so I couldn't give you an exact price. What I can say though is the money that you do put towards going to a program, going to a school like this, and your books and your tools, you more often than not, everybody's going to be different with their debt and income situation.
Oh, their money management. Yeah.
But you will be able to pay that off fairly soon.
Like within a year?
If you manage things well, yeah,
Okay.
you're going to be in good shape. Starting wage of going into an apprenticeship for lineman is a good wage, and you'll be able to knock that out pretty quick.
Okay. So it's something that if a person wanted to go to a school, they could look at personal loan, something like that, pay it off
Sure.
within a year to 2 years.
Sure.
Which is, in my opinion, keeping yourself pretty debt free.
That's very
That's-
good. Yeah. Lots of people can get into trouble when they start accumulating student loans over years and years, and it just gets harder to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But there are also scholarships that companies offer.
Oh, okay.
So I know the company I work for, they offer a scholarship program for people interested in going to Lineworks. So
Okay.
there's lots of companies do that. So
Okay.
that's something you could research. Where you want to be in the country. Look at different companies. A lot of them offer a program or a scholarship type of deal to get more people involved and to help them out, get started. So.
All right. So I should probably say, we are in the park, and there's obviously a road next to the park. So you might hear some trucks going by here and there. Okay, so you got started, you went to lineman school, you got your pick of the litter, you picked to come to Colorado, you work at Mountain View Electric as a lineman.
Yep.
So, awesome. So, what does your day look like? Do you leave early in the morning?
I do, yes. So my day, each company is going to have different setup also, but I am fortunate enough to work for a company that does 410s.
Oh, sweet.
So I have every Friday off, but my day is 7 to 5:30.
Okay.
And Monday through Thursday.
7 o'clock seems to be a trend across a lot of trades. You are there. You've already had your coffee. You've already done your commute. You are there at 7 a.m.
Yep, start the day early, and
Yes.
it's nice. There's a lot of companies that still run 5 days a week. It's hit and miss depending on what company you look at, but a lot of companies, they'll go 5 days a week, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I just feel lucky that I get to do 410s.
Oh, yeah.
It's a super nice to have your Fridays to do the extra things you want to do or catch your appointments. You don't have to take work off to do that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, go to the dentist or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I love it.
Okay. All right. So you start your day at 7, and so you're in a truck lifted up 50 feet in the air. Where are you at 10 o'clock in the morning on a work day?
Okay, so our day typically starts, we all get to work, and right away we'll kind of, before the clock hits, generally there's some of us in there, we're loading material, getting ready for the job, or jobs that we have to go do that day, and it all depends on what crew you're working for. Some companies, you get on a crew, and you may stay there for several years or kind of permanently. The company I work for, we rotate throughout the company. We have service crews and maintenance crews and construction crews.
Okay.
So your construction crews, ours are 4 people on a crew. You have a foreman and then journeymen and apprentices. And so a construction crew, you will go out and you're either going to do force accounts, what we call force accounts, which are new builds or upgrades for a new service, or you're going to be doing kind of like a long-term maintenance rebuilding line that's out there, that's been out there for 45 years, that's kind of getting ratty and old, and you're just trying to keep your system maintained to a high level.
Okay.
So you go out there and you do rebuilds, take the old stuff down, put new up, and then you have your service crews and maintenance guys. Those crews are just 2 people. They will ride together in a bucket truck, and if they have a trouble call during the day, they will go take care of those outages. And maintenance guys, it all depends on what's happening, but you may have a troublesome area on your system, and you want to go figure out what's going on. You go out there and you do line patrol, fix things that you find that you see are wrong, and just maintain, keep everything up to snuff.
Okay. So, but I just want to cover one point, because there is a key reason why I am not a lineman. Where is the line that you're fixing? How far up is that line?
Okay, so, well, ours, what we're doing now is all the poles we're putting in the ground now are 40-foot poles.
Okay.
And so you're up, if you're working on these power lines where we're at anyway, you're in the air 35 to 40 feet.
In your bucket.
Roughly, yep. And we do climb.
Oh, you climb the pole as well?
Yep. It all depends on what, where you're at, and as far as terrain, sometimes you can't get a truck to where you need to be.
Oh, okay.
So we don't hesitate to strap on our belt and hooks, and we go get
You
it
have
taken
the
care
little
of.
stakes on your shoes, and you're hooked
Yep.
to the belt.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And you go
yeah.
up.
Yep. Climb up and either fix or if you're doing construction, we do like climbing on construction and stuff. So things like that. Yeah. And there's different types of bucket trucks that we use and digger trucks that we use. So some of our bigger buckets, I think, will go to 60 feet at the ground, at the where your feet sit on the floor of the bucket. I think it's about 60 feet. And our other ones will go up to about 45 or 50. And that's when they're pretty well maxed out, almost straight up and down. But so yeah, you spend a lot of time in the air.
And doing physical
yes,
pulling.
You are. Yeah. Yep. You are. It's laborious. Yeah. You're doing physical work. There's not a lot of standing around up there. If you're changing poles out, you're gonna take the lines and move them away. Let the guys on the ground plant the new pole, and you're gonna bring it back and tie everything back in and get it all secured to the pole. There's not a lot of downtime. You're busy.
Yeah.
And it is physical work. You definitely want to be in good physical shape. Your endurance some days get long, so your endurance has to be there too.
Yeah. Okay.
But
it's rewarding.
Anybody can do it, though. Yeah, I mean, you come to work with a good attitude and a desire to get things done.
Okay.
Anybody can do it, and it is very rewarding. I love my job. I couldn't think of doing anything else.
You do love your job. I have to just say, we were chit-chatting about your job, and we got chit-chatting about your job before we remembered, hey, we should probably turn on the camera. Because you have a joy when you talk about it, and that's nice.
Yeah, it's a fun job, but sometimes it's tough and challenging, but lots of things in life are. So you work through it, and sometimes they're really tough, and sometimes it's, you have these beautiful days where you think, man, what else would I be doing right now? But you look around and you're thinking, this is it. This is perfect.
Right.
I love it. Yeah.
Right. So for you said when you were going through high school, you're like, well, what do I like to do? And that's a very smart thing for you to think of as a high schooler. Figured it out. So kudos to you for figuring it out.
Yeah.
In high school.
Well, I didn't. I knew several of my friends, that were kind of just go with the flow, and I liked to plan. I wanted to know, at least have a real good idea. I didn't want to go waste time. I wanted to get out there and get working, and that's why I kind of went around and I talked to these guys that were linemen. I wanted to know what their take was, straight from their mouth. I didn't want to have any hearsay or my own thoughts. I wanted to hear what they had to say.
Right.
And it was like, that sounds pretty dang cool. I enjoyed talking with those guys, and you know, I went and visited their office, and kind of they showed me around a little bit, just, you know, real informal, but
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, it
was-
doesn't have to be
yeah,
fancy.
yeah, and yeah, linemen are, I would say, just a little bit of a different breed. I work with a bunch of great guys. I love everybody that I work with. They're fantastic. But
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I knew what I'd be getting into, and have a committed thing that I was going to right after high school, so I didn't waste any time. Just how I am. But
Nice. So you're outside. You do physical labor, either
Oh, yeah.
climbing or you're working with stuff.
You run a
fidgeting
shovel
with
a
stuff
lot, too.
With, huh?
oh, I said, and you run a shovel a lot. You're gonna.
Oh, running a shovel. Yeah,
Yep,
you're digging.
Yeah, it all depends
For the
on
poles,
It
yeah.
all depends on where you're at on the crew. You know, we like to swap weeks out to where, you know, you're in the bucket 1 week, and then, you know, another guy in your crew. So you stay a little more well-rounded. And,
Oh, yeah.
And then, like I said, with our company, we rotate on different crews every 6 months. So that keeps you a little more well-rounded. Also, is you're running outages and trouble calls, and versus just doing
Gotcha.
construction each day. So it keeps your mind fresh, and you get to see all the territory, everything. You know,
Nice.
you're just like I said, more well-rounded.
So, all right. So, guys, girls, doesn't matter.
Nope, anybody can be a lineman. Yeah.
You need to wear. I would. Do you have any special, like? Do you have to do the steel-toed boots? You have to wear grounded shoes.
Yeah, each
kinda?
company does things a little different there. Also, like, you could have a safety toe, a steel toe policy.
okay. Okay.
You know, we wear fire retardant.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
clothing.
That makes sense.
So our jeans, shirts, everything we wear is fire retardant. You're wearing, you're going to wear thick rubber gloves and sleeves, and that's kind of taxing on your body if you're not used to
Yeah.
working like that, or
Yeah.
dealing with small things wearing big rubber gloves. It's not
Oh.
like dish gloves where you know you can still pinch something. Yeah, you just learn how to use your hands differently.
Okay.
It's a little different, but it's fun. It's good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you went to lineman school. Those can vary in length, vary in cost, and you can pick where you're going to go to school. There are several throughout the
Yeah.
country.
Oh yeah, lots of them. Yeah.
And then once you get your lineman's certificate, I would imagine you guys are in demand. You can go anywhere.
Yep, you can. You can go anywhere in the world, really. And that's a great thing. When you get out of school, you if you're looking, and you can look online, or if you know people, know companies. Lots of companies are looking for linemen. Especially right now, I think we're kind of at a stage where a lot of the guys in the baby boomer era are starting to retire. They're
Yeah.
getting done. And
I said this a lot last year too, but and you know we won't be offended, but yeah, we need young guys, young gals to come reinforce the ranks.
yeah, you bet. I mean, and you know what? It's never too late to start a career in line work. You don't have to do it right out of high school. But if you find yourself looking for something, and you have hit a wall, or you're just looking for something different.
You're 30, you want something fresh.
Yeah,
there
is nothing wrong. There's nothing saying you can't go do this and go into a program.
Now,
and do it.
let's answer this question, because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people, if they're watching this and they're kind of getting their, curiosity meter going, maybe they're opening another window and Googling, can I support a family as a lineman? And I know you as well as a good friend of my husband's, and I'm going to say the answer is yes. You can definitely support a family as a lineman.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids today, if you say, that's an annual salary of $30,000, that's an annual salary of $80,000, they're just like, they don't know what that equates to.
Right.
Different areas have different cost of living.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to say, typically, a lineman, the pay is going to be different in different areas to match that cost of living.
It will be, yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to say we can equate it out to whatever the number is. Yeah, you can have a house, you could be the only one that works. You get the
There's
kind of a
lots of-
house that matches that salary.
Oh yeah,
But
your
yes,
lifestyle's
you
going
can.
to reflect that a little bit, but you
Yeah.
can definitely support your family, and you make a good living. It's rewarding in that fashion too. You know, you could look at your base wage, and if you didn't work 1 hour overtime for a month or 6 months or whatever, you're going to get that amount of money. But majority of linemen or companies, anyways, you know, they're going to have some type of a program, depending on what, you know. There's multiple different, you know, types of companies that you can work for. You know, like our company, we're a distribution company, so we work on distribution lines, and like I said, we maintain our own lines to where we work the outages that happen in our service areas. So we have a rotation when you're on call, and you go on call every so many weeks, and you're on call for a week with a call partner, and you know, there's nothing saying that an outage is gonna happen or not. A lot of it's weather related, but you're gonna get overtime opportunities, lots of them.
So this comes back to lifestyle. Thanksgiving, Christmas happen to be in some possibly wet, snowy months at different parts of the country.
Yeah.
You might not be home when that turkey comes out of the oven if
That's a
somebody's
fact.
power went out.
Yeah, you're going to be going and helping get somebody else's power on so they can have their turkey.
Yeah.
And that is true. It happens all the time. I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and I've been on call lots of those holidays, and sometimes it's nice, and you get to spend that whole time with your family, and sometimes you're gone before they even get up, and you're gone the whole day or half the day, and there's no control over that. You can't pick and choose, you know, a little bit of give, a little bit of take
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. That's just how the work goes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, but if you're flexible, you get to be out in beautiful weather. I mean, I'm kind of partial to Colorado. It's gorgeous outside, and you get to work outside every day. That's
Yeah. Well, you're
that's
going to
definitely
have
a perk.
You're going to have great days, way more great days than not great weather days here. Anyway, you know, you have you might have some really nasty days where it just is not a ton of fun to be out, but you know, you're working and the days go by quick. But there's way more beautiful, fantastic days than there are those really cruddy ones.
Yeah.
So, and I imagine anywhere you work in the world's going to be like that. You know, you know, one climate, one
Yeah.
pattern,
They've all got
steady
their
all year round.
their
Yeah.
perks and they're not perks.
Right. And just like you said, being a little flexible, where, yeah, you know that, you know, this really bad day or stretch of a couple days in a row where really crappy weather, you know that it's worth it, because you've got so many other days where you could be stuck in an office, you know, and not enjoying the sunshine and breeze, and but you know, on those days, it's just awesome. You'd love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You just roll with it.
But overall, you've been doing it 15 years.
Mhm.
You love it.
Yes.
You're sticking with it.
Oh yeah,
You're
absolutely.
keeping it. Okay.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. Like I said, I take all the good and with the, I wouldn't say bad, but times that aren't that great.
Challenging.
Yeah, challenging.
There's
times.
challenges in everything in life, though.
Yeah,
There's
and that's-
there's a skill that we learn, problem solving,
Yep.
and then we move on.
Oh yeah. Well, and if you can be if you kind of be a go with the flow person, you know, not have to have things set in one specific way. You know, you'll be well off doing this kind of work.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Cool. All right. And so, I guess we're going to wrap up our interview, but we're going to be in person at the school on the 21st. And so, I'm going to put this on our website. People can look at it. I may text you back if people email me with questions.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm just excited to get this series going, because then hopefully we have, you know, at least 5 or 6 of these videos, people can just watch one right after the other and kind of get an idea of what life is like. But we're interviewing, or I'm interviewing 5 or 6 people, but there's really so many trades out there. Even like a realtor is a skilled trade.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go to school, get their license, and they're out there doing it.
Oh yeah.
And there's just, the world is, there's like no limits.
Yeah, I would say that'd be probably one of my biggest pieces of advice would be if you're interested in a trade, specific trade, I would talk to people, because doing an interview is great like this, but if you have specific questions, or having a conversation with somebody about their day is gonna,
it's gonna tell you a lot.
It's gonna, you're gonna get a lot further and get more information.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk to those people. Don't be afraid to approach them and ask them. It's kind of the same things we talked about, but you can go in much more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them exactly what you want to ask them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be such a broad question.
Yeah, and hopefully that's what we get on the 21st. And I'm hoping that there's some kids, again, guy or girl. I think all of these trades, it does not matter. Anybody can do anything. And hopefully they say, hey, Andrew, can I come see a bucket truck? Can I see how high that goes? Or, if they're curious and they want to know, could I do that? That sounds interesting.
Yeah, there's events and things like, our company, we have this, what we call a high voltage demo trailer. And we do demos in front of crowds and people to inform them. It's informative, to where, this is the type of voltage that is out there on the power line. A lot of people don't understand, or they take for granted that it's just like plugging something into an outlet. Well, that's not the case what we're working on, but there's lots of different things that you can get involved in with, in the public, where they're doing these demos, or annual meetings and things where we do bucket rides and stuff. Where you can, if you're going to come into the meeting, you can get a bucket ride first, and
neat.
Strap you into a harness, and we take you up, and lots of people love that.
Neat. Okay.
So it's nice to be able to, it'd be great to be able to go do a walkthrough and even if you could get onto a job site, that'd be great. Every company kind of shapes that out a little bit differently. But, yep. So.
Okay, but if a high schooler wanted to say, okay, I think they do a job shadowing day, and then they have like college visits that they do and different things like that. So for a kid who's dead set, I'm not going to college, I want to use this day, but I want to do it differently. I imagine every school's different, but hopefully the teacher would be saying, okay, well, for your assignment, we'll make it this, and maybe they could go to the lineman school and see, what does this look like for job shadowing day. They could coordinate, call an electric company that has linemen.
Absolutely.
Can I job shadow a lineman? And then that, the foreman would look around and say, okay, that job, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and
or something.
Yeah, different companies are going to, again, do that differently. Where you can get a ride along, or you can, do a summer help program.
Oh, yeah.
Where they let you, they'll hire you on for a summer, and if you're worth your salt, they'll keep you on, or it gives you that time. Gives you a buffer time.
We touched on something we haven't talked about yet. Worth your salt. Let's talk about that. Work ethic. This is not for the faint of heart.
No.
You need to be used to doing work past the point of your preference, and you just work till the job is done.
It is not, a 9 to 5. You may have to start work early some days. You may have to work late. Sometimes you don't have a choice. If you're working on an outage and there's people still out of power, you're not going to say, well, it's 5 o'clock now, I guess we're going to head home. No, you're going to keep going until you get the power back on. Sometimes you schedule outages to start at 2 or 3 in the morning, because they can't be off during the day when they're working. So
that means you guys are out there at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's no problem. But you have to be willing and able to do that. There's times where you're going to go without some sleep, and you're going to be exhausted, and it is hard work, and it's not. You're not just awake. You're busting your hump.
Right.
And it's hard, but I still.
But
wouldn't,
it's rewarding.
Yeah, I still wouldn't have it any other way. It's not like that all the time, to where you are 100% exhausted. 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
All the time.
There's a sense of accomplishment, I think, of actual manual labor.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
When you walk into a situation and it is just crap has happened, and you can end that day and it's all nice and organized, it's tidy, everything's working, stuff plugs in, lights come on. That's
when you get to a storm, or when you start working on a storm, whether it's a flood or a blizzard or anything like that, sometimes a lot of stuff is just a wreck. And you focus down as a team, you focus and you get to work, and it's really nice when you can look back, after the day or after that week of all that hard work, and the consumers, everybody's very appreciative. It's just great.
Yeah.
We love that. But it's very rewarding, and it makes you want to do it all again. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be your hands, body's your whole body's gonna hurt sometimes.
Yep.
You're gonna get blisters on your hands. You're gonna get dirty if you don't like getting wet, cold, covered with dirt. You're gonna experience all that almost on a daily routine. So you gotta be okay with things like that. You're gonna even work on equipment that you're using that you need to repair. You're not just gonna be working. I don't know how to explain that, but if you have things that break down on you, your mind is then going to go to you're gonna kind of be a jack of all trades. You're going to learn lots of different things.
And then that's problem
being a
solving
lineman.
comes back in line. You're fixing your own transistor or something on your truck.
You want to have an open mind, because you're going to good decision making, and a thoughtful person too, I would say, because when you're working out there, you're working, for your company. You're working, doing yourself. You're working, but you're counting on the other guys that you're working with, and they're also counting on you. You can't screw up. If you screw up, you could hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, and there's no second chance on that. It's going to happen in the blink of an eye, and you have to be certain of yourself. You can't be loosey-goosey out there.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, good. I think we covered everything that we need to tell these young guys.
And like I said, if anybody has any more questions, I'd love to just talk to them one-on-one, because it's easy. Like I said, at any time, catch me at a ball game or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't mind sitting down and just shooting the jazz, whatever.
Okay. All right.
But
so
and,
if some of our young high schoolers see you walking around and they're, hey,
anytime,
they can come up and ask you questions.
Never a problem.
Okay.
I enjoy all the kids at our school.
Yeah.
But if somebody had a question about line work or they piqued their interest, I would definitely want to talk to them about it, because it's a great job.
Yeah.
It's not even a job. It's a career. It's a life choice.
It's a way of life.
Everybody knows that.
I think you really are. You're a I don't know if you want to call it a brotherhood or a family or whatever,
like that.
But there's a bond that there was a storm on the East Coast a while back, and linemen from across the country went and helped put the lines back up, because they were like, wow, that's
when something horrific happens like that and everything's just falling apart, it's pretty cool. All you'll see on the interstates and all these companies banding together, traveling, and nobody is better than the other person. They just want to get to work
Yeah.
and help and get things done.
And you've all had that training. You know you can depend on each other.
Yeah.
This guy to this guy. Doesn't matter if you're in the same state, same school taught you or whatever.
Nope.
You
no
guys are
difference
going to
there.
work together.
Oh yeah, you bet. And it's fun. I've gotten to do that several times, and it's a really good experience. And you're going to see a lot of things as a lineman. Things that you may never thought you would see before, but you see a lot of neat stuff. And your day is, it's different every day. You see a lot of different things, every single week. You're always constantly learning. You're always constantly seeing different scenarios and situations, and keeps you on your toes. It's fun. You don't get bored.
Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Andrew.
Okay, thanks for watching our video. I hope you loved it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and you will get notified when we have new stuff.